Good morning, class. Today we are going to study the phylum chordate of chapter number 4, Animal Kingdom, of class 11th. So, in phylum chordates are the animals which possess notochord. Notochord is a stiff and flexible rod-like structure present in the ventral surface of the body. In layman terms, it is the spinal cord. So, all those animals which possess spinal cord at any point of their life are considered to be chordate. Some features of chordates are they are triploblastic, that means they have three germ layer. They are coelomates. They have a body cavity. They are bilateral symmetrical. In bilateral symmetry, the left portion of the body resembles to the right portion. They have post-anal tail. Look, and the blood circulation is a closed circulatory system. A dorsal hollow nerve cord is present, and paired pharyngeal gill silt are present, and this chordate phylum is divided into three subphylum, and the name of these three subphylum are Urochordates, also known as Tunicata, Cephalochordates, and Vertebrates. All three of these phylums consist of a notochord which persists at any time period in their life cycle. Further, the phylum chordate is further divided into two divisions. One is vertebrata and the other is protochordata. In protochordata, we have two subphylum included. These are tunicates. These two phylums, Urochordates, Tunicates, and Cephalochordates, these two phylums are considered to be protochordate. That is, they are primitive chordates because their notochord doesn't persist to throughout their life. They only persist in their embryonic stage or in some parts of their life cycle. So they are considered as protochordates. While in vertebrates, we have two subphylums, and these two subphylums are Agnatha and Gnathostomata. In Agnatha, all the organisms which are jawless occurs in this, and the jaw-bearing organisms occurs in Gnathostomata. So let's start with the difference between protochordates and chordates. So in chordates, they persist notochord. They are dorsally situated at the central nervous system. They have gill slit and post-anal tail. While in protochordates, we have two subphylums, Urochordates and Cephalochordates. While chordates include all the three subphylums, vertebrates, Urochordates, and Cephalochordates. So, protochordates consist of only two phylums. In chordates, only chordates have vertebral column known as vertebrates. In protochordates, they do not have vertebral column. In vertebrates, which are included into chordates, they have brain, they have cranium, they have endostyle, they lack endostyle. Endostyle is a feature which aids in the filtration while feeding. While in protochordate, they do not have brain, they do not have cranial, but they have endostyle, which filters the feeding. In chordates, they have chambered heart, but in protochordates, they do not have chambered heart. In chordates, they have blood vessels, but in protochordates, they do not have blood vessels. They have in chordates we have kidney for blood filtration, but in protochordates we do not have kidney for filtration. Protochordates look like this. They have a muscle segment, gonads, which possesses 6 organs, and notochord is present but not persist throughout the life cycle. They have gill slit, and these are the organs, basic organs, liver and intestine. They have mouth and post-anal tail. While in vertebrates, we includes many organisms, all the reptiles, amphibian, birds, aves, mammals, everyone is included in vertebrates. So let's start with the first division of Agnatha. Vertebrates, first division, Agnatha, which lacks jaw. They do not have a jaw. Circular mouth without jaw. We have only one class in this, and the class is cyclostomata. In cyclostomata, the they are ectoparasitic on some fishes. That means they live on some other fishes. The body is without scales and paired limbs and fins. The body is elongated and bears 6 to 15 pair of gill slit for respiration. Cranium and vertebral column is cartilaginous in nature. Circulation of blood is closed type because it is a vertebrate. We have also studied it over here. Vertebrates have blood cells, and okay, in cyclostomata, they are marine, but they migrate to fresh water for spawning and for development of young ones. For larva producing, they migrate to the fresh water. And the examples are Petromyzon and Maxine, which is a hagfish. So let's moving further towards Gnathostomata. In Gnathostomata, we have two superclasses of spices which bears fin, and also they have jaw. And these includes chondrichthyes and osteochites. In chondrichthyes, the habitat is marine, so these fishes are marine in nature. They have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Inside structure is made up of cartilaginous bone. They have 5 pair of gill slit without gill cover. They have no swimming bladder. Mouth is ventral, present in the front side. They are oviparous. They are viviparous in fertilization. In viviparous, they produce young ones. The examples of chondrichthyes are rayfish. Electric organs are present for stinging. While and this is how chondrichthyes look like. This is the structure of chondrichthyes. You can search it over Google too. The other class is osteochites. The osteochites are fresh as well as marine in habitat. They have bony endoskeleton, while in chondrichthyes we have cartilaginous endoskeleton. They persist swimming bladder, while in chondrichthyes we don't have a swimming bladder. The mouth is terminal, where in chondrichthyes the mouth is ventral. The nature of fertilization is oviparous. That means they lay eggs, and there is no electric organ present in them. Osteochites looks like this. This is the dorsal fin. This is the operculum, where gill slits are present. This is the caudal fin, and mouth is terminal. So this is all for chordates. In next class we will be studying about vertebrates. We have studied till here Gnathostomata. Till here we have done. Till here we have done, and in next class further we are going to start. Okay, thank you.